Yes, students, today I'm going to continue the chapter 6, The 100 Dresses, Part 2. As you have learned in my previous class, that how the two girls, Peggy and Maddie, went to Wanda Petronsky's house to make sure whether she had left the place or not. When they reached over there, they knocked it again and again, but they couldn't receive any answer. Now there was no doubt about it. The Petronskis were gone. When they didn't receive any answer, then they were sure that they have left the place. How could they ever make amends? What do you mean by amends? Amendments to show that one is sorry by doing something good. Now they wanted to apologize to the girl. They turned slowly and made their way back down the hill. But when they found that no one is there, then they went back down the hill. And well, anyway, said Peggy, she's gone now. So what can we do? Now Peggy expressed her opinion that if she has gone now, what we can do in this case. Besides, when I was asking her about all her dresses, she probably was getting good ideas of her for her drawings. She might not even have won the contest otherwise. Now Peggy is looking at the positive side of this incident. She says maybe when we used to tease her, she was getting inspirations of being creative and getting good ideas of making 100 drawings of the dresses. She might not even have won the contest. If it has not been so, then she was not able to win the contest. Mattie turned this idea carefully over in her head, for if there were anything in it, she would not have to feel so badly. Maddie turned this idea carefully over in her head. Means she is trying to uh, think on this idea very deeply, but she was not agreed to it as she thought that if it had so, then Wanda must not be very sad. But that might she could not get to sleep. That night, Maddie could not sleep throughout the night. She thought about Wanda and her faded blue dresses and the little house she had lived in. Now, the whole night, the three things Wanda, her faded blue dress, and her little house where she used to live keep troubling her. And she thought of the glowing pictures those 100 dresses made all lined up in the classroom, and all the beautiful drawings that were displayed in the classroom. They kept coming in front of her eyes. At last, Mattie sat up in the bed and pressed her forehead tight in her hands and really thought this was the hardest thinking she had ever done. After a long time, she reached an important conclusion. Throughout, she engrossed in deep thinking by pressing her forehead tightly in her hands. And this was the hardest thinking that she had ever done. Means she has not undergone such mental situations ever in her life. After a long, long time, she reached an important conclusion. Then she decided something that was very important. What was it? She was never going to stand by and say nothing again. She was never going to stand by. This stand by is a phrasal verb. Means now she won't tolerate anybody to tease. Because if she sees or finds that if anybody is teasing someone, then she will raise her voice. She will not stay calm. If she ever heard anybody picking on someone, what do you mean by picking on someone? Means teasing someone. If ever in her life she finds someone teasing others because of their funny names or funny looks, then she will raise her voice, even if it meant losing Peggy's friendship. Even if she has to do it at the cost of losing of her best friend's friendship, then she is ready to do it. She had no way of making things right with Wanda because she is now left with no other option except it. But from now on, she would never make anybody else that unhappy again. She find that there is no way left to make amends or to make the things right again with Wanda. So she has decided that she would never let anybody make someone unhappy, and herself she will never make someone happy. Now, next, on Saturday, Maddie spent the afternoon with Peggy. They were writing a letter to Wanda Petronsky. On Saturday, Maddie thought to write a letter to Wanda Petronsky. It was just a friendly letter telling about the contest and telling Wanda that she had won. They, through this letter, when Maddie wanted to tell her about the contest and her winning in it. They told her how pretty her drawings were. They also wanted to tell her about that the drawings made by her were so beautiful, and they asked her if she had liked where she was living and if she liked her new teacher. They also wanted to confirm from her that whether the place where she is living now is liked by her, or the teacher that who is teaching now is liked by her or not. They had meant to say they were sorry. Actually, they wanted to say sorry to her, but they could not do so. They ended their letter by just writing a just as a friendly letter is written, the kind they would have written to any good friend. And they wrote this letter in a way just as a best friend write to her best friend, and they signed it with lots of x's for love, to express their love. And they mailed the letter to Boggins Heights, writing please forward on the envelope. As they do not know the address where she lives, so they mailed to the Boggins Heights, so that if anybody gets this letter and who knows about where she lives can be forwarded to them. Days passed and there was no answer, but the letter did not come back. So maybe Wanda had received it. Perhaps she was so hurt and angry she was not going to answer. When they didn't receive any answer from Wanda, they thought that Wanda might be very hurt and angry. That's why she has not replied to the letter. You could not blame her. So we should not blame her. She is too angry with us. And weeks went by and still Wanda did not answer. Weeks passed by, but still Wanda did not answer to the letter written by Peggy and Maddie. Peggy had begun to forget the whole business, and Maddie put herself to sleep at night, making speeches about Wanda. In this paragraph, students, you will find the difference between the characters of Peggy and Maddie. Peggy didn't bother about the whole business. She forget it easily. But Maddie could not sleep at night. She was creating scenes where she is raising her voice against the persons who are teasing her. Wanda defending her, protecting her from great crowds of the girls who were trying to tease her by saying how many dresses you have. And before Wanda could press her lips together in a tight line, the way she did before answering, Maddie would cry out, stop. Now, in this scene that she's creating, she's imagining when she was teased or bullied by the other girls, before she feel embarrassed and say something, Maddie will stop. She will cry out to stop the girls who were teasing her. Then everybody will feel ashamed the way she used to feel. She's trying to feel the girls who are teasing her to feel ashamed. She wanted them to feel ashamed. That's why she's stopping her. She's raising her voice now. This is the scene that she's creating. She's just imagining that if next time, if she meets Wanda and these girls, she tries to make fun of her, then she will be there to stop them and to feel ashamed them of their action. Now it was Christmas time and there was snow on the ground, and Christmas bells and a small tree decorated the classroom. On the last day of school before the holidays, the teacher showed the class a letter she had received that morning. Now it was the festive season, Christmas. It was Christmas time, and there was snow on the ground, and the classroom was decorated with Christmas bells and a small tree. On the last day, it was the last day of the school before holidays, the teacher showed the class a letter that she has received from Wanda this morning. What was written in this letter? You remember Wanda Petronsky, the gifted little artist who won the drawing contest? Well, she has written me, and I am glad to know where she lives because now I can send her medal. I want to read her letter to you. Now the teacher attracted the attention of all the students and try to remember him, try to remember the recall them about a girl Wanda who was the gifted little artist and won the drawing contest. Now she told that she has received a letter from here where she has mentioned that where she lives now, and this made the teacher send her medal to her, and now she wanted to read it to the class. When the students heard it, they they set up there with sudden interest because they were very interested to know what she has written, and so they started listening intently. Intently means carefully. What is written in the letter? So this is here. Dear Miss Measure. This letter is written to Dear Miss Measure means the class teacher. How are you in room 13? Room 13 is her classroom where she used to sit with her friends, and she's asking about their health, how they are. And please tell the girls they can keep those 100 dresses because in my new house I have 100 new ones. As she used to say them that she has 100 dresses, so she has gifted the drawings of these beautiful dresses to them. And I would like the girl Peggy to have the drawing of the green dress with the red trimming, and her friend Maddie to have the blue one. Now she asked them to give the drawing of green dress that was having the red trimming or the red edge or the red border to Peggy, and the blue one to Maddie. For Christmas, I miss the school. She also expressed her intention that she is missing all the students and teacher, and my new teacher does not equalize with you. She also ended the letter by saying that the new teacher cannot take the place of Miss Megan. She's full of appreciation for her teacher, Miss Megan, and then she wishes the whole class with a Merry Christmas wishes and signed herself as Wanda Petronsky. On the way home, when these two girls were coming back to their home, then what happened? Maddie and Peggy were holding these drawings very carefully in their hands. All the houses had wreaths and hollies in windows, and outside the grocery store, hundreds of Christmas trees were stacked. And in the window, candy peppermint sticks and cornucopias of shiny, transparent paper were strung. The air smelled like Christmas, and light shining everywhere reflected different colors on the snow. So when they were coming back to their home, they saw that the all the houses they were having wreath. Wreath is a circular bunch of bouquet, a kind of bouquet, but is in circular form, that is of flowers and leaves. And holly is a plant that is decorated on Christmas day. Outside the grocery store, there were hundred of Christmas trees. They were stacked. Stacked means piled up or stored. And in the window, Katy peppermint sticks. And there were displays in the window the candy sticks. And cornucopias of shiny transparent paper were strung, and there were cornucopias. They are decorative containers. They were made up of transparent paper, and these were strung over there. They were hanging over on the windows, and the air smelled like Christmas. As you know that on the day of Christmas the people used to make or bake cake and delicious dishes. So the smell or the aroma of these dishes filled the air, and the light was shining everywhere, that was falling on the snow and giving different colors. Boy, said Peggy. Peggy was very excited and said, this shows she really likes us. It means the letter, the way she has written a letter to us, it shows that she wants to express that everything is all right. It shows she got our letter, and this is her way of saying that everything is all right. And that is that. I hope so, said Maddie sadly. And Maddie also agreed with her, and she felt sad because she knew she would never see the little tight lip polish girl again and could not ever really make things right between them. But she was not as happy as Peggy was, because she was very sad. Why she was sad? Because she would never be able to meet this Polish girl again in her life, and the things could not be right again between them. She went home and she pinned her drawing over a torn place in the pink flowered wallpaper in the bedroom. The shabby room came alive from the brilliancy of the colors. When she went home, she pinned the drawing on the wall where the wallpaper that was pink and flowered was torn off, and the shabby room came alive from the brilliancy of the colors. When she hung this drawing on the wall, on the wall, the shabby looking, ugly looking room that started looking beautiful with the colors of that drawing. Maddie sat down on her bed and looked at the drawing. While sitting on the bed, she started looking at the drawing. She had stood by and said nothing, but Wanda had been nice to her. And now she started thinking of the day when the girls used to make fun of her, and she herself was standing nearby saying nothing. But even then, she was happy that how positive the girl was, Wanda was, because she, even after all these things, she was very nice to them. Tears blurred her eyes, and she gazed for a long time at the picture. Tears blurred. Blurred means fainted her vision because of her tears in her eyes, and she gazed. She gazed means looked for a long time at the picture. When she was looking at the picture, tears in her eyes blurred her vision. And then hastily means quickly, she rubbed her eyes and studied it intently. Intently means attentively. Studied means examined. She examined the picture. The colors in the dress were so vivid. The colors in the dress were so clear and so bright that she was hardly able to notice the face and head of the drawing. But it looked like her. But when she studied this, the face and the head, she found that it resembled her. It looked like her own face. It really looked like her own mouth. Why it really looked like her, but she was not able to understand why the face and mouth was looking like her own. Excitedly, she ran over to Peggy's to get the answer of this. She immediately ran over to Peggy. Peg, she said, let me see your picture. Now she excitedly asked her to show her picture. What's the matter? Asked Peggy. Peggy was also very surprised to see the expression of Maddie. She asked, what's the matter? As they clattered up to her room, where Wanda's drawing was lying face down on the bed. Very quickly, with the heavy steps making noise, they went into the room where Vanda's drawing was kept on the bed upside down. Maddie carefully raised it. Now Maddie very carefully lifted the picture up. And look, she drew you. That's you, she exclaimed. Now she exclaimed with joy to Peggy that, look, this is you here. The picture you look at, the head and face, it's yours. It's you yourself. And the head and face of this picture did look like Peggy. What did I say? Said Peggy. She must have really liked us anyway. Look, it means she liked us. She has forgiven us. She is very positive girl. Yes, she must have agreed, Maddie. Maddie is also agree with Peggy. Maybe that she has forgiven us. She has not mind it all. And she blinked away the tears. blinked away means she controlled the tears that came every time she thought of Wanda standing alone in that sunny spot in the schoolyard, looking stolidly. Stolidly means unemotionally over at the group of laughing girls after she had walked off. After she had said, sure, 100 of them all lined up. And this time, when Peggy told her that maybe she has forgiven us and she thinks that everything is all right, now she controlled her ears, and which were used to come when she used to think about the girl standing alone in the sunny spot when all the other girls used to bully her or tease her, and she would keep standing over there unemotionally looking at the group of the laughing girls, and simply walked over there without saying anything. And simply one sentence she used to say them was that sure, 100 of them all lined up. Now she has proven, yes, although she's poor, but she has 100 dresses. She has expressed her creativity in the form of drawing of 100 beautiful dresses. So this was the lesson. Okay, students, thank you.